Hello everybody and welcome to February's astrology forecast overview. I'm Pix, and this month is shaping up to be an exciting one with a mix of energies that will affect us all in different ways. We'll be taking a look at the major transits and how they're going to be affecting us this month in our professional and personal lives, from Mercury entering Aquarius to Venus entering Aries. These events are going to bring both opportunities and challenges, so it's important to be aware of how they might manifest and how they might affect us so that we can navigate through this month's energies with ease. This is also the last month with Saturn in Aquarius and Pluto in Capricorn. So grab your blankie, grab your warm beverage, get comfy, and let's go ahead and dive into the astrology of February together. So I'm going to start with Friday, February 3rd. That is when the Sun in Aquarius squares Uranus at 15 degrees Taurus. And when the Sun squares Uranus for those few days before the 3rd, it indicates time of disruptions and non-conformity. So, the Sun and Uranus represent very different energies. You might be feeling a sense of restlessness or a desire for freedom and independence around this time, or the urge to break free from constraints and your current situation in some way and making changes in that. Uranus pushes changes and disruptions and chaos and pushes us towards more independence. This transit might also bring unexpected events or surprises, particularly in areas of your life where you have been stuck or unfulfilled. And these sudden changes that come with Uranus transits sometimes are difficult to navigate, but they ultimately bring a positive growth and transformation on some level. And as a result of this square, you might be feeling a stronger desire for change and for progress in some area of your life. But again, it brings a level of uncertainty or volatility. So it's important to approach these types of changes and this little bit of chaos with an open mind and be prepared for the unexpected around the 3rd. It's also a really good time to focus on self-care and to surround yourself with people who support and understand your need for change in this moment. And this aspect can manifest in a variety of ways, like sudden job changes or unexpected events or unexpected visitors of some kind. It's also a time where people are more inclined to take risks and to break free from the norm on some level. And this energy leads to impulsive decisions and the need for freedom, like I said, independence. And in personal relationships around this time, this aspect can bring tension and unexpected conflicts of some kind. So it's important, like I said, to be flexible and be open to change at the beginning of the month, while being mindful of not acting too impulsively, as Uranus would like us to be. But it can be a challenging time. You might be forced to confront or deal with, like I said, unexpected changes, disruptions, or chaos on some level. But again, it's also a time of growth and liberation, and this transit helps you break free from old patterns and help you embrace new and exciting opportunities. So it's important, like I said, to keep an open mind around the first weekend of the month. Be willing to adapt, be mindful of your needs, and So let's see, the next day. So this weekend is shaping up to have all the energy. So February 3rd and February 4th. On February 4th, Venus in Pisces squares Mars at 11 degrees Gemini. And when Venus squares Mars, you might find yourself feeling a bit conflicted in your relationships and your desires. And this can manifest in a few different ways, like you might feel attracted to someone but also feel hesitant or unsure about how to express your feelings. You might be in a relationship but feel a bit frustrated or blocked in terms of physical intimacy. Or you might find yourself in a bit of a power struggle with someone that you're close to, or like your desires and your needs aren't aligned. You might feel a bit torn between your desire for pleasure and your desire for stability and security also. So overall, this aspect brings up tension around your desire, your pleasure, your self-expression. So in addition to the potential for tension and conflict in your relationships, the Venus-Mars square can also bring a burst of dynamic energy and productivity to the day or the weekend. This transit brings a sense of excitement and passion in your interactions and in your relationships. And you're also provided a increased drive to take action to make things happen. So you might find that you have an extra boost of energy and motivation to work on your projects, pursue your creative stuff, take on new challenges. The square aspect brings an element of excitement and spontaneity into your actions, making it a good time to take risks and to try new things. And so this aspect can really be harnessed to achieve great things if it's channeled positively. This is a good time to take initiative to make things happen, or rather than waiting for opportunities to come to you. You might feel the urgency or pressure to make things happen, so it's important to stay focused and prioritize your goals, and be aware of any impulsivity or impulsive decision making during this transit also. The urge to act hastily may lead to unwise choices, right? So it's a good idea to think things through and to keep a clear perspective during this time. And then on Sunday, February 5th, we have our February full moon at 16 degrees Leo, and it will be in a very close square with Uranus in Taurus. So the full moon in Leo brings a sense of culmination and completion in the areas of life related to the Leo house in your chart, as well as with general self-expression, creativity, and personal growth. You might find yourself feeling more expressive and confident in your life in general during this full moon. It's a good time to focus on self-promotion and to showcase your talents and your abilities. And you might feel more in touch with your creative side and be inspired to take on new projects or pursue passions on some level. In addition to the themes of culmination and release with the Leo full moon, the square aspect to Uranus brings up unexpected or sudden changes and disruptions, of course. It might require you to be more adaptable and flexible in order to navigate those sort of chaotic changes and find new ways to express yourself and new ways to be creative and to express your sense of individuality. It could also bring surprises or surprising experiences or new experiences within your relationships or with your children or with your creative side. Again, with Uranus involved, it's important to stay open to new possibilities and to be willing to let go of old patterns that no longer serve you. Non-traditional and unconventional paths are very supported, so be different for this full moon. It's also, the full moon is a time for releasing negative emotions or negative thoughts that are holding you back from living your best life. We want to take advantage of any full moon energy and release things. So it's a good time to let go of resentments or let go of doubts or fears that might be blocking you. And with this full moon in Leo, you can release negative emotions and make room for new opportunities and new experiences that come into your life. So light a candle for this full moon with the intention to release something this weekend, or that weekend, I should say. So that's February 5th, Sunday, February 5th. And then for the next week of February, the second week of February, there isn't much happening, though. Leading up to Friday, February 10th, Mercury will be conjoining Pluto at 28 degrees Capricorn. And when Mercury conjoins Pluto, there's a heightened intensity and depth to communication and thoughts. This aspect brings in powerful, transformative insights, as well as the ability to uncover hidden truths. It can also increase the power of persuasion and the ability to influence others with your communication. That's the nice way of putting manipulation, but persuasion, the power of persuasion. And during the end of the week, around February 10th, you might find yourself more interested in delving into complex or deep subjects and having more profound conversations. It's a good time to reflect on your own thoughts and your own beliefs and to question them, and watching true crime and mysteries, shows, books, up the wazoo here. But on the other hand, this aspect also makes communication more intense or more heavy. It might lead to some sort of conflict at times. It brings attention to power dynamics and power struggles in relationships, and it brings up control and manipulation energy. So it's important to be aware of the potential for manipulation in your interactions with others around Friday, and be mindful of how you express yourself in order to avoid these misunderstandings and conflicts. And during a Mercury-Pluto conjunction, communication and thoughts in general might be intense and probing. So this aspect could manifest as having intense or transformative conversations with loved ones. It's a very intimate aspect. It could also manifest as uncovering hidden truths, or delving deeper into personal and psychological issues in therapy. It could also manifest in being drawn to research and investigating and obsessing down a rabbit hole of some kind, especially about topics you're passionate about, or you might feel the need to get to the bottom of a situation or a mystery of some kind. Okay, Saturday, February 11th, we have Mercury entering Aquarius. So we have a big shift for the Mercury-ruled people, that is Virgo risings and Gemini risings, feeling a shift on some level, getting a little bit lighter, honestly, leaving Capricorn, entering Aquarius. And with Mercury in Aquarius, the emphasis on thinking is very independent, innovative, forward-thinking. Mercury in Aquarius is known for its ability to think outside the box and to come up with unique ideas and unique perspectives. It's a great time to think about new and unconventional ways of approaching things and being open to new ways of thinking. We are having lots of this new ways, innovative thought processes at the beginning of the month, or the first half of the month. On the other hand, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, which gives Mercury in Aquarius a sense of structure, discipline, and responsibility, but it's an air sign, so it's a bit lighter than Capricorn. But it could be a time where we're more focused on planning, organization, being efficient with our thoughts on some level. It's a time where we can be more aware of the long-term consequences of our decisions and our actions. Also, this aspect can bring attention to social causes, humanitarian or progressive ideas. It can be a great time to think about how we contribute to society and be open to new and unconventional ways of approaching social issues in particular. Overall, this is a time when our thinking is more focused on the future and on the bigger picture. It's a time when we're more open to new and unconventional ideas, and when we're more aware of the long-term consequences of our decisions and actions. So now we are halfway through the month, and we are in the third week of the month. And on Wednesday, February 15th, Venus conjoins Neptune at 24 degrees Pisces. And when Venus conjoins Neptune, you can expect a heightened sense of romanticism, idealization, and fantasy in your relationships and interactions in general. This aspect can bring a strong desire for spiritual connection and compassion and understanding with others. We love the Pisces fish, and leads to increased empathy and sensitivity for everybody. It can also bring an increased interest in art and beauty and creativity, as well as a heightened sense of compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. This is a very magical aspect, and it can manifest in everyday life by feeling drawn to engage in close relationships, wanting to be intimate with people, a heightened appreciation for art and beauty, a strong sense of empathy and compassion towards others. All of these things are possible. And it also brings a heightened sense of intuition and a greater ability to connect with the spiritual realm with Venus conjoining Neptune. It can manifest as an increased interest in spiritual practices as well, like meditation, yoga, and connecting with nature, or being out near water of some kind is very beneficial also. Get those water sprite downloads. And this transit might bring up a strong need to help others or to make a positive impact on the world. It could manifest as volunteer work, charitable donations, or just in general small acts of kindness. On a more negative note, this aspect can also bring a heightened sense of vulnerability and susceptibility to deception and illusion. And it's important to be mindful of boundaries and to not give too much of yourself away. In general, Venus conjoined Neptune, it brings a heightened sense of magic and intuition and creativity and a deeper connection to your inner guidance and your spiritual awareness. It's a time where you might feel more inspired to help others, make a positive impact on the world, and express your love and compassion to those around you. It's not a very capitalism-friendly aspect, so I hope you can engage in this aspect in ways that are comfortable for you. And this is going to make quite an interesting Valentine's Day, if I do say so. It is strange that Valentine's Day happens in Aquarius season at all. Like, astrologers think that's very strange. But this one has a Venus-Neptune conjunction, and that is the romantic aspect of romanticism. Okay, moving on to Thursday, February 16th. We have an important one. We have the Sun conjoining Saturn at 27 degrees Aquarius and creating a new cycle. And when the Sun conjoins Saturn, it brings a time of responsibility and hard work and discipline, and it brings a sense of maturity and a focus on needing to achieve goals. It brings a sense of seriousness, soberness, and the need to take on more responsibilities. And it's a good time to focus on long-term plans and to work on building a solid foundation for the future. But it can also bring feelings of restriction and a sense of being weighed down by obligations. It's important to be mindful of avoiding becoming too rigid and inflexible in the ways that you're thinking around this time. This aspect could manifest in a situation where you feel a sense of responsibility or pressure to take on a leadership role somewhere in your life, or to take on more responsibilities in your job or your professional life or your personal life. It could manifest also as a promotion and increased expectations in your work, and a shift towards being more structured and disciplined in your daily routine. It could also manifest as a feeling of being held accountable for your actions and your decisions on some level, and the need to take a more serious and mature approach to your responsibilities. In everyday terms, you might feel more pressured to be productive and focused and experience delays and obstacles that test your patience and your determination. It's not the funnest aspect, Thursday, February 16th, and the few days leading up to that. Again, in a few days, I should say the whole third week of February, both Capricorn and Aquarius risings might be feeling a bit tired, have low vitality, feeling a little bit of burnout on some level. Your renewal is coming, shugs, after this aspect. After the Sun and Saturn conjoin, Saturn will be burnt up and then reborn anew like a phoenix, being born from its ashes. So expect a nice renewal after the 16th for the Saturn-ruled folks. Okay, moving on. The weekend, the third weekend of February, we have the Sun entering Pisces and Pisces season beginning. So when the Sun enters Pisces, it brings a sense of heightened sensitivity and emotional depth to everybody's experiences. Pisces, as we all know, is a water sign associated with emotions, intuition, and spirituality. And the Sun's transit through Pisces can bring a focus on these types of vibes and encourage you to tap into your inner feelings, your intuition, and connect deeper with yourself and your spirituality. This is also a time of heightened creativity and inspiration. So that's super fun for any projects that you're into. Also, though, On the other hand, it can bring a sense of escapism or confusion if you're not grounded. It's very easy to become ungrounded during Pisces season. And it's a time where you might become more compassionate, empathetic, and in touch with your inner self. But also a little bit more susceptible to negative thoughts and negative feelings. There's lots of sensitivities happening, so it's important to be mindful and to engage in lots of self-care during this period. And Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, which brings in a sense of expansion and growth, especially in those Pisces areas of intuition, spirituality, compassion, sacrifice, love. In Greek mythology, Pisces is associated with the story of Aphrodite and her lover Adonis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but according to the story, Aphrodite and Adonis were out hunting and they were attacked by wild beasts. To protect Adonis, Aphrodite transformed him into 2 fish, which were then placed in the sky as the constellation of Pisces. The story is associated with the Pisces symbol of love, sacrifice, and transformation, right? Okay, and we're still on the 3rd weekend, but we're on Sunday, so we're starting the 4th week. Sunday, February 19th, we have our new moon at 1 degrees Pisces. And this Pisces new moon indicates a time of increased focus on intuition, emotions, and spiritual understanding. The new moon is a time of new beginnings, as we all know, and it marks the start of a new lunar cycle. So during this new moon, you might find yourself more inclined to listen to your intuition and to trust your inner guidance. And you might be more open to exploring your emotions and connecting with your spiritual side. I know a lot of people get freaked out during the Pisces moons, and to each their own, but this is another one of those that makes us feel things that we have been suppressing. So it's a really good time for self-reflection, for meditation, and to set intentions for the upcoming few weeks, the upcoming lunar cycle. So taking advantage of this new moon in Pisces, I would recommend spending some time in quiet contemplation and focus on setting intentions that align with the energy of Pisces to you. So some specific examples of how to take advantage of this new moon in Pisces. Let's see. Meditating and journaling to connect with your emotions and your intuition. Setting intentions for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Practicing forgiveness and compassion towards yourself. Are you listening? Towards yourself and towards others. Engaging in creative or artistic projects or activities, tapping into your intuition and your imagination. And exploring new spiritual or mystical practices is a good idea also, deepening your understanding or connection with the universe. So I recommend you lean into this new moon energy and perform some sort of new moon manifestation ritual. It's a good one to use to manifest some things. What's very interesting about this new moon is that on the same day, on February 19th, Sunday, Venus also enters Aries. So when this happens, it indicates a time of increased focus on action, independence, and assertiveness, especially in matters related to love, relationships, and values and self-expression. As we know, Venus represents love, values, relationships, while Aries is associated with action, independence, and assertiveness. Venus is technically in its detriment when it's in Aries. But we like detriment because this means there's a stronger emphasis, in this case, on self-expression and independence in relationships. You might be more inclined to take initiative with matters of the heart, and assert your desires and assert your needs. And this is a time of passion and excitement, and can also bring a tendency to be impulsive or to act without fully thinking things through. Happy Venus return to those with Venus in Aries, by the way. And with Venus entering Aries, people might feel a heightened sense of confidence or assertiveness, especially with their relationships or social dynamics, interactions with others. People might be more inclined to take bold actions in pursuit of what they want. And you might be less afraid of rejection with Venus in Aries. This energy can also manifest as increased focus on self-care and prioritizing your personal needs. It's important to note that being self-centered doesn't always mean being selfish, and Venus in Aries can kind of teach us that. In some cases, it's definitely a form of self-care to be self-centered, especially if you are prone to people-pleasing. People pleasers, I'm looking at you. We're going to focus on ourselves during this Venus in Aries transit. In terms of love and relationships with this Venus entering Aries, it can bring exciting new beginnings and a renewed sense of passion in existing relationships. So it's also important to note that Venus is the ruling planet of Libra and Taurus risings, so the effects of Venus in Aries might be felt differently for y'all. The Taurus risings and Libra risings can expect their vitality to take a hit or to be put in some sort of situation where you have to act or work with less resources than ideal. Underdog mode engaged during Venus in Aries for the Venus ruled folks. And this can be fun. I'm not saying it's scary. I'm saying it's time to work differently than you have been. And for those who have Aries rising, Venus entering the first house might bring a heightened focus to your appearance and self-expression and overall vibe. You might feel more attractive, Aries risings, more confident and more magnetic during this transit, and you might feel more inclined to be assertive in matters of love and with relationships. So overall, when Venus enters Aries, it's a time of increased focus on action, independence, and assertiveness, especially in matters related to self-expression, love, relationships, and values. And it brings passion, it brings excitement, and also a tendency to be impulsive or to act without fully thinking things through. Some activities I think of when I think of Venus in Aries include glass blowing and wood burning and using fire or pokey things, tattoos, using things that are not usually used for beauty to then make art or beauty. That's kind of what I think of. Okay, and we're fully in the final week of February. So let's look at Tuesday, February 21st. And this is an active day. It's going to be an active days leading up to this as well. So Mercury in Aquarius squares Uranus at 15 degrees Taurus and then trines Mars at 16 degrees Gemini. And so, what does this all mean, Basil? When Mercury squares Uranus, we have more Uranus energy. So we have, expecting the unexpected, sudden changes, chaos, especially within communication, transportation, and technology topics. So this brings, again, a sense of unpredictability and instability to your plans and your ideas on some level. There may be a tendency to act impulsively or speak without thinking. That's a vibe of Mercury square Uranus. So it's important to be flexible and open to new perspectives around Tuesday. You might also experience breakthroughs or breakdowns, breaking down to break through, right, with your thinking and decision making with what's going on for you at the time. It's important to be mindful of how this energy can manifest in sudden and unexpected, disruptive, chaotic ways. This is a chaotic, neutral energy. Then we have Mercury trining Mars, okay? And this is an aspect that brings dynamic energy, productivity, and clear communication. So we have some wonkiness, and then it gets cleared up with this trine to Mars. This aspect brings successful and productive conversations and negotiations, as well as the ability to think and act quickly. This aspect also brings opportunities for learning and for taking action on new ideas. So whatever chaos Uranus brings, Mars comes through and cleans up. So this can be a good time for making plans and taking action on them late on Tuesday, as well as expressing yourself clearly and effectively if you need to say what needs to be said. It brings a sense of excitement and enthusiasm to your interactions with others also. So in general, this aspect can bring a strong sense of drive and motivation to communicate and take action. And it can manifest, in everyday terms It can manifest as feeling more assertive and confident in expressing your ideas and your opinions, and having a clear, direct approach in conversations and discussions. So if you need to have that talk, this is a good time. It also manifests in being more productive and efficient in tasks that require mental focus, that require brain activity, and attention to detail, like writing, studying, problem solving. Additionally, this aspect could bring opportunities for collaboration and teamwork. If you want to collab with someone, Tuesday is a good day to do it, or to reach out to plan to do it. It brings the ability to effectively navigate conflicts and challenges that come up. So Tuesday, February 21st, not too bad. We have a little bit of wonk in the beginning, but we have cleanup afterwards. And honestly, that's it for the rest of February for the most part. In conclusion, February is shaping up to be an exciting month. We have a full moon in Leo on February 5th. We have a new moon in Pisces on February 19th. Mercury enters Aquarius, which indicates a shift for Virgo risings and Gemini risings, and Venus enters Aries, which indicates a shift for the Taurus risings and Libra risings. This is also the final month with Saturn in Aquarius. So congratulations to those of you who have Saturn in Aquarius. You are in the final ending wrap up of your Saturn return. How exciting. And I bet those of you with Saturn in Pisces are getting a little bit anxious to know what's coming. I have content coming out for y'all that is called the Saturn Return Survival Guide, so be on the lookout for that. But don't worry too much. We all made it through. You'll make it through as well. And honestly, you probably already have kind of an idea of what it's going to be about. It's not going to be some big shock, most likely, for most of you. So, February is a month of blending different energies. It's a good time to be open-minded with all that Uranus energy. Be assertive in your goals. Be compassionate with all this Pisces energy. And connect with yourself. Connect with your spiritual side. Take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. And be aware of the challenges and obstacles that might come up with these themes. Remember to use your intuition and discernment to navigate this month. We have Pisces season, very intuitive season, and your intuition is super duper powerful, so do not discount that. If you're listening to this, you've got quite the intuition, okay? So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next video. As always, comment below if you have any questions or if you need any clarification. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you got something out of this. I really appreciate you. And if you're interested in joining a free community full of friendly mystics and astrology enthusiasts, you are welcome to chat with me and a bunch of other cool people in the 9th House Discord server. The link to join is below. If you're interested in getting personalized weekly or monthly horoscopes for your rising sign, check out my Patreon. I release those every Sunday. And that's about it. I will see you next time, friends. Bye!